Hey everybody, welcome to another IPMNation.com conversation. This is Matt Connerton, and with me today is Melissa Beers, also helping me out here. How are you, Melissa?
I am well, thank you. And you?
Good, good. And if we sound a little funny, it's because we're doing this one by phone. Long distance, we have with us on the line Mr. Daniel Ouellette. Or actually, Ouellette, isn't it? How are you, Daniel?
I'm great, thank you, and you've got it correct.
It is Ouellette?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good. And we want to talk to you about your CD, which is Monsterland: The Revenge of Daniel. Is that the full title?
That's the full title. That's the one.
Cool. And how do you describe your music? Because I got to tell you, it's unlike anything I've heard. I mean, there's a couple things I can compare it to, but what you're doing is definitely unique.
Oh, well, great, thank you. I usually put it under the category of new wave or techno pop. Someone recently called it, because of the performances I'll do, they recently also called it goth cabaret.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I can kind of hear that. So what are some of your influences?
Well, I really love music from the late 70s and early 80s. Susie and the Banshees, Eurythmics, Blondie, Laurie Anderson, Kate Bush, Grace Jones. And so a lot of times I think I'm just copying everything that a lot of the artists I love would do.
Uh-huh. Well, you're definitely putting a unique spin on it. I mean, is there... I mean, your style of singing, I mean, it's definitely unique, and the production of it. Is there anyone that you feel that you sound a lot like, or is it kind of a combination of people?
I would say a combination. A lot of times I get people who come up to me and tell me different artists that I will remind them of.
Sure.
Sometimes it's Depeche Mode, and sometimes it's Roxy Music, and to my chagrin, someone once told me, "You sound like Tom Jones."
Really?
Wow.
Now why was that to your chagrin?
I've never really. Most of what I know and have seen about Tom Jones really isn't what I would go for if I was to pick a CD off the shelf.
Yeah.
But he's a great performer and what he does, but it's not. Sometimes we're always told we remind someone of something or someone that we probably didn't want to.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. Is that the most surprising comparison that you've heard, or is there any others that people have said? Because I'm sure you get a lot of interesting comparisons because what you're doing is so unique.
Right. Well, probably the oddest comparison was Barry White.
Really?
Yes, very, very odd. Then there was Arthur Brown and Klaus Nami, which I can sort of see that.
Yeah.
Or hear that. So, but I think that maybe Barry White was probably very, different to be compared to.
Sure. You mentioned Klaus Nami, and that's interesting because one of the shows that we run on IPMNation.com, we have a show called Can't Save Everyone, hosted by Massacre Meg, and I played your CD for her, and she's a diehard Klaus Nami fan, and she didn't make the comparison, but she really loves your disc.
Oh, great.
Yeah, she loaded it onto her iPod, and she really loves it. So, I wish she was on the line with us to interview you, but we'll have to set that up at some point. But yeah, she's definitely into what you're doing, and she likes a lot of the some of the influences that you mentioned are a lot of the same people that she listens to. What's the most complimentary comparison that you've gotten where you really said, "Wow, that's cool"?
Well, I mean, I was quite amused by Klaus Nami. I think that was great. I think that unfortunately for him, his appreciation has come for him to not be here to see it.
Right.
And so I think that was probably the most exciting one, I think.
Yeah. And now the disc, is that all you? Did you record the whole thing yourself?
Well, what the disc really is a collection of different songs from different sort of homemade CDs that I had made throughout 2003 and 2008.
Okay.
And they've been recorded at different locations in different time periods. I recorded some of the tracks in Portland, Maine, with a friend of mine, Joe Lemaire. And I recorded a few live. There are a few live tracks. At least the Superman song I know is on that disc and was recorded live in Connecticut.
Yeah.
And then I think there may be a song that I had done with a friend in Taunton. And then the bulk of the music is music that I've made at home.
Sure.
Well, I have to tell you, from seeing him live, and I have to say you're an amazing performer. I thoroughly enjoyed your performance at the event that I met you at. You are a very dramatic performer, and I think that's fabulous. I loved it, I have to tell you. And Superman was my favorite.
It always is.
I did. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. I said, "Oh, I love this." And so that's, why we decided to have you on the show, because I think that you are unique and you have wonderful energy, and you definitely put your heart and soul into the music. And so I think more people need to hear you and appreciate you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I love the live performance is my most favorite part. Whatever the discs do or not do, it never feels like you can totally get down what you're doing live.
Right.
Even though I use electronic music, I love, I want the electronic music to also be alive.
Right. And I also loved the fact that you used video in your show as well. And, your background video was fabulous as well. And I just thought the whole thing just really tied in very well, and I enjoyed your music. I wish you had done more. And so that, I really do. I think that they should have given you a bigger slot.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. It was a good time. It was, whenever I do a show, I don't know what to expect. And I actually have sort of a difficult time getting booked, so it's exciting to actually get to a venue and see what's going to happen. Thank you so much.
What kinds of other people do you play with? Do you have trouble getting booked because there's not a lot of similar types of shows to what you do? Similar types of artists?
I think that may be it. I also think that when one is not a band, it may give booking agents not something to hold on to. I've booked a lot with a lot of musician friends, one in particular in the Boston area named Burnt Fur, who actually, I have an EP that I had made with the singer from the band, who we've known each other for more than 20 years.
Yeah.
So I've played with them. I've played in many sort of eclectic type shows. I've been booked with folk acts and death rock, and I always have been very lucky that the audience does enjoy the performance. Maybe at first they're not sure what's happening, even though it's rather simple. But I don't really know what makes booking so difficult. I have been lucky. There are some people who book me who always have me back.
Yeah.
So that's great.
So do you have any plans to expand and to bring more musicians into your performance, or are you going to continue as a solo act?
Well, predominantly a solo act. I do enjoy collaboration. I have an accordion player sometimes, and I actually, believe it or not, have just put out some ads on Craigslist. I would like to start anyway adding some backup vocalists.
Okay.
I think that would be interesting to start with. If I did include other musicians, I would want instruments that are probably not so common in or maybe now they are common. I mean, everything seems to be everywhere at any time, if that makes any sense.
Right.
If we see performers like Bjork or Bat for Lashes, we see lots of things going on that I think are very similar to the show that I'm doing and the music that I make. But I would love to start working with at least 2 other vocalists.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, Daniel, how about why don't we play a track from the disc so our listeners can get an idea of what we're talking about, and you can pick it. What do you want to play?
Oh goodness. Okay, can't I ask Melissa to pick it?
Oh my gosh, the pressure. Well, you know which one I would pick.
All right, let's go for it. So we'll hear the live performance recorded in Danielson, Connecticut. The I Want That Superman song.
All right, here it is from Daniel. I almost said Ouellette again. From Daniel Ouellette.